Hey everybody, my name is Charlie, and welcome to Surviving the Abyss. Typically, I would say that this is the first episode of Surviving the Abyss, but unfortunately, this is the only video I can record before I leave on my long break. So if you like this video and you like this game and you want to see more of it, please let me know in the comments down below, and we'll check it out more in depth in February. Special thank you to Paradox for sending me out a key before this releases, just enough time for me to get a video before I leave, and also for sponsoring this video, which is just amazing that you guys are willing to do that. Thank you so much for supporting the channel too. What is this game about? It's your typical city builder thing that we've seen before, but it takes place underwater, kind of like Aquatico does, but this one has a different story and a twist to it. Let's take a look and see. Watson and Crick discover the structure of DNA. There you go, a little bit of history lesson for you. The possibility of cloning a human being was becoming a reality. Scientists raced to be the first to complete the endeavor. A massive government operation was undertaken to make cloning a reality. All these confidential locations. Factory-sized labs were constructed with thousands of scientists employed. Can you imagine if cloning was a real thing? Like you could just clone a full human being like this? In a few short years, teams reported the first promising results. Looks creepy. It looks creepier than I thought it would be. Humans have been cloned for the first time. It was a scientific marvel, but the results were disastrous. Didn't see that one coming. The test subjects were unstable. Their DNA irreparably damaged by the cloning process. All died within a few days. The public was outraged. Thousands marched in protest against the technology. Everyone except the military. Yeah, because the military was actually quick to understand the strategic importance of this research. Who would have thunk it? The military wanting soldiers that will die in 2 days anyway. Plans were drawn up to continue the research in total secrecy. The location? The deep ocean floor. That's what we're selected for these future experiments, guys. We're going to be under the water. The seafloor would provide access to new life forms and DNA to experiment with, but would also pose a great challenge. A team of the best and brightest were selected for this expedition. The mission was to last 6 months. You have been selected to lead the operation. The lives of the crew are in your capable hands. I should put capable in like italics or maybe like in quotes. Anyways, I'm going to pause it really quick so we can get started. So take a look at this. Has a very Frostpunk-ish start to it, if you will. You can kind of equate, sort of like the whole underwater city adventure thing to Aquatico, but this has very distinct differences in how it works, and also obviously its story and its presentation. So this is sort of our central core, but it really doesn't do much for us. It just allows other buildings to kind of connect together in a way. So what we're going to do first is we're going to want to get a reliable source of power. In the beginning, that's coal. We're going to hover over top of this if you want to see all the details about it. But essentially, we have this sort of octagonal grid system. And you can only rotate with 4 degrees instead of 8. I mean, that's just how it works. It's a grid still. But this is also giving us the ability to connect on sort of a diagonal, if you will, even though I can rotate the camera. But so you have sort of this sort of angle and this right angle, but then you also have the ability to connect on this type of angle too. And certain buildings have different connection points at different places. I'm going to start off with this being, I think, probably right here for start. That's where I'm going to have my power plant first. Okay. Next, so I don't get soft locked, and I highly recommend everybody do this because you're going to get soft locked if you don't. Basic Research Lab. We're going to want to click this, and we're going to get the Basic Research Lab. I'm going to slap it right up against here, I think. All right. There we go. While we're building other things, though, I would also like my little drones. I've got these mining submarines and such that can go out and scavenge things. I've got a construction submarine and stuff that can come out and build things. And we also start with a very small stockpile of resources that we can use for building things. So in addition to this, though, we need to gather our own. We're going to use these mining relays to kind of guide our submarines over to where the resources are. So as I hover my mouse over this area, you're going to see kinds of resources that are available in that circle, kind of appear over here. And what we're looking for is a good, reliable source of coal. And right here, it seems I can get both resources of coal in the same one. So I'm going to go ahead and do one there. And then there's a lot of steel and iron both. over here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put one. Let's put it right. I don't want to get in the way of things, but looks like I'm going to have to come off this side in order to... All right, we're going to put another one there. I want 2 of the mining submarines to go to this one, and I want 1 to go here dedicated to one of these coal spots. So we're always going to have some of these mining submarines are always going to be pulling in coal. We need it because that's our power source. We're also going to need a source of oxygen while we're down here, and so I'm going to go ahead and go into life support, oxygen generator, and I'm going to connect this directly to the research lab instead. So we're going to put it right there. And when you put buildings really close together, you can kind of see that it highlights green. It'll tell you that it's lined up, but also if you put it really close together, it will automatically make these tubes for you if it needs it. So the living quarters, for example, are the next building I'm going to do. And this is only on this diagonal. I can't put this as a right angle to where my camera is right now. I'm not sure how to explain what that angle is because I can rotate the camera, but we're going to say that the living quarters for now are located right here. Now, I can line it up here. It just means that I'm going to need a longer tunnel to do it. So if I place it right here, though, it'll automatically create that tunnel for me. So we're going to do 2 living quarters. I can also make my own tunnels with this tunnel tool. And we are going to do that for the power. We're going to do it from right here all the way over like this. And that's going to create a connection point where the oxygen can be transferred through. So oxygen and people will move through these tubes, these tunnels, and power moves differently. Power is these power lines, and pretty self-explanatory in a way. You can just sort of take it from the power producer to the power consumers. And I'll place one right here. It costs steel to build these, so being a little more efficient with where you place them is a good idea generally. And that's why I did initially want my living centers to be over here, but I'm noticing that there is a lot of steel and stuff, so we're just going to do it this side instead. So I'll do it over here like this, and that'll connect the living quarters to this as well. Tunnels and power lines are built instantaneously, provided you have the resources to do them. Okay. Greetings, Overseer. This message is from the command station, 7,861 meters above you. We hope you got settled in okay. In the coming days and weeks, you'll need to figure out how to supply power, oxygen, and food, and get a stable supply of fuel and building materials. Once basic infrastructure is established, our first big milestone will be a fully functional cloning lab. Good luck, Overseer. The work you're undertaking will benefit all of humanity. All right. So we have, there's another one. Hang on. Inbox. All prior experiments in cloning led to test subjects who suffered from poor health, malnutrition, and could only undertake the simplest of tasks. Your work down here can fix this. We can fix this. The time has come. Open the cloning interface and the desired genomes to the sequence and begin the cloning process. So that is ultimately, I think, the process of what we're going to have, I guess, to get more workers. I would assume you have to clone them to get more workers. We've also opted to send down an additional 4 crew members to assist your endeavors. Before we send them down, though, we expect the food situation to be stable and adequate housing facilities to be available. 2 living quarters and a stockpile of 75 food will ensure that you can sustain a larger workforce. So up at the top left, we have our current population, how many are employed and unemployed. So it kind of gives you an idea of, how many people you have left, how many buildings can you support now. We have our food stockpile, as well as how much we're consuming per day, as well as how much we're producing in both low and high quality food. And we have how many days we can last with our current stockpile. Then we have types of genomes. I have no idea how to explain that right now because I haven't used it yet, but eventually we'll get there. Okay, so to get food going, we're going to go over into, it's not unlocked yet. We have to go to our tech tree. Now, when you first play this, and this is probably just my fault because I don't read very well, but when you first play this, the tech tree is going to look very bare. And that's because, 1, section 2 and 3 are not unlocked yet, so you just see the whole unlock button. The other thing is because it's a very early build, it's early access, right? It's early. There's lots of things left to come, lots of development left to do. That's just the standard way of early access games. But the thing I didn't see initially was that these are actually categories. This is not the full tech tree. There are other things that you can get. Some of them are already unlocked for you. So you can go into healing effectiveness, medical treatment stuff. You can get coal efficiency upgrades, which I think is a great idea because coal is limited. But you can also go to resources and you can unlock the coal extractors and alloy furnaces and stuff. And these are really essential to progress at a good pace, because if you don't have enough coal, your base will not be powered and you will die. So initially, at the beginning of the game, you can rely on the coal that's on the ground, but eventually this is going to get eliminated. You're going to use it all up. Overseer, we have the utmost faith in you to lead us on this mission, but a project like this requires many great minds. We are planning to send down a specialist engineer to assist with the setup of the facility. Before we give the go-ahead, we need to see progress. Stockpile 80 coal to ensure the mission, to ensure the continued success of the mission. Some buildings require specialists, people who have special training in order to operate them. And it looks like we're going to get them by having them send them down. So we start with 60 research points. I think maybe we start with 50, but we've had that research up a little bit. So in any case, we have 61 right now. So the first thing I'm going to get is a carbohydrate farm. We need this to get low quality food going. So we'll do that first. I think the second thing I might do is go into exploration. I'm wondering if I can get something that helps my light towers, because I really want light to be... doesn't look like it, just light tower for now. Basic information upgrade. Experiment with the arrangement of the transducer arrays from the sonar tower to increase its range. I kind of like that, but it's not worth the 90 at the moment. So I think what I'll get instead at the moment probably is the coal efficiency upgrade. I'll probably save my science for this so that they have longer burn times, and that will allow my power to go for longer periods of time. Okay. So we have oxygen being supplied, we have research, we have power, we have living centers, we need food, and I unlocked it in the tech tree. So let's go into life support, carbohydrate farm. This will produce low quality food. I think I'll put it over here. It's probably fine. We'll set it up right up next to this. That could be one. And then we need to see how much that produces, because I need to tell where it is. All right, so we're gonna see food, and I want to see a number here that tells like how much I'm producing, so I know whether or not I'm at a deficit or not. I think it actually has to process before it will tell me, so we'll have to check back in on that later. Now you might think, okay, well, you've got this little area here. What do we do from there? Well, the map is actually quite large. Quite large. And it can be diverse as well. So how in the world do we get all these extra resources and all these extra things? Well, we just need to provide it with light. Nothing is going to work without light. It's very dark down here. So we can go in to our exploration and we can go to light towers. And as long as the light tower connects up somewhere, we can add a light tower. It will add light to that area at the expense of power. And now we can work any resources or attain or gather anything that's in that area. Before we do that, though, we want to actually make sure that there's actually something over there before we place the light. And so to figure that out, we have a sonar tower, which is available right away. The sonar tower can be positioned kind of anywhere as long as it's in the light. And, you can place it right in the middle to give you like a more, I guess you can search all sides, I suppose. So I probably should do that, and I don't want to get in the way of any specific structure. So I think I'll place it here for now. You can tear this down later. It doesn't have to stay here. So we'll place it right there for now. And notice how the carbohydrate is actually not on because there's no power. So that's why I need to have this power running like that. Now I kind of feel like I should have had it going straight this way and then over, but it is what it is. This will provide all those buildings with power. And then we can see what our power. Now this is the current overage on your power. So we have now +4 power at the moment and +5 oxygen. This is sort of our spare resource. So as this thing builds, it will consume 2 power, and that should drop this, I think, down to 2, unless of course this was already telling me. It might have been already telling me even after it was like pending a build. So anyway, we have 4 power left over. The sonar tower now has these 4 sort of beacons that it can push out. So fuel beacon, we can try to push out one of these. It can go out as far as the circle. And we give a sort of a percentage chance at how much our detection is detecting a certain type of resource. So over here we have a 40%. It's like 60% there. So we're going to hit the beacon here. This will explore instantly and sort of tell us where fuel sources might be, which is good. We have a resource beacon. We want to know where resources are. We can pop this one over there. And looks like there's no material cost for these beacons. So I guess we get to just send out as many as we want. 60% on that. We need resources, of course. And it looks like that's probably all we're going to detect extra, except for maybe over there. Yeah, and then is there any more fuel sources? Oh, I don't. Hang on. I guess you only get to do so many at a time. Can't do too many at once. So I'm not seeing any more fuel. So it's just over here. So what we're going to want to do, since we have these areas detected now, is we're going to want to start setting up lights over in these areas so that we could potentially work them. So I'm going to say that I want a light to be... looks like maybe I can get these 2 fuel sources here, potentially. So we'll add a light right there. And we'll also add a light... I need to get out this way to work these 2 resources. There is small steel deposit, concrete deposit. Got concrete there. And then the fuel over here is just... These are just coal. Now, there's a coal deposit, which is something we can pick up, like it's on the ground over here, like all these are. But there's also an extraction point. To get the extraction going of coal, we need to go in and research in the resources tab the coal extractor. It's going to let us, of course, utilize a large coal deposit that's in the ground, and it's an unlimited supply as far as I understand. We'll have to see. So this is currently that coal extraction point. It says difficulty. Okay, so it may not be unlimited. I don't know. It's just 1 out of 5 potential stars, I guess. Coal can be used as a fuel in the generators. Yeah. So looks like this extraction point is pretty easy. We still need to have power out this way. So I'm going to bring a power line out about like this, I guess. I suppose it can go here. That should provide power to the tower. But it won't because I have a deficit now. So we're going to go in and make another coal generator. And I'm just going to slap this. Well, I was going to place it like this. Might be in the way of oxygen now, but it could work. We'll place it right there. And then we'll put... Oh, come on. You're not going to let me... You're not going to let me just slap it up right against it? I guess not. Well... Yeah, like this. That's valid. You should let me do that. And then they can technically walk through this one to get into that one. And that will allow us to have power. Now, that's also going to, of course, use more coal. So that's why we're investing in this area first, because this is where our fuel is. I also want to take a look at my food really quick. I'm producing 10 per day low-quality food, but I'm consuming 12. So I'm going to need high-quality food. Let's hope we find some high-quality food over here as well. And you don't have O2. So this isn't connected the way I thought it was then. So what we'll do is we'll connect you from this point, trying to get it right there. Yep. And then we'll bring you over to the tunnel. And just bring you direct. I thought for sure that was connected, but it doesn't look like it is. We'll do this instead. That will connect you. It's kind of weird. Maybe I'll rebuild it, but that's connected. Now that there's O2 in there, people can work it. So we've got lights. And then there's also this. This is a habitat. This is rosefish. Rosefish is a species of rockfish originating from the cold waters of the northern Atlantic. It is a large, slow-growing, late-maturing fish which has been prized by commercial fishing for generations. It's an abundant resource, and it's in the light, so we can work it. So we're going to go into our tech tree again. Go to life support, and I want a protein harvester. This is for high-quality food. And the high-quality food, you have to place them over here. You have to place them on these habitats so that they can extract or hunt, etc., these types of fish, and push the high-quality resources into your base. So we can then go into a protein harvester here, and it's just going to snap in place. It says valid. That's how you know you can use it. And then we need the tunnel to connect. So we'll need the tunnel to come over, and it looks like I can probably just go... Requires an elevator. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Never used an elevator before. Let's try it. Elevator shaft. To go from one height to another. Isn't that wonderful? We can place the elevator like this, I suppose. That's kind of interesting. And then, whoops, I don't want this one. And then we're going to hook this up to there. It lets me. Right. Hold on. Almost. Come on now. A little bit finicky with trying to connect something. It's so simple. The one's right next to it. There. Here we go. And then this side will then bring it all the way over here like this. Yep. And then we'll have this side, I suppose, go... kind of want it to connect there, but I suppose it can go into the research lab. We can always reposition things like this too. So I think I'll have it go here first and then straight over from there. So there's the tube that they're going to use as soon as they get the elevator shaft in. That's what they'll use to get over there. And then this power cable will just go down into the habitat. All right, the next thing is there's a coal deposit right here. This is the that extraction point, and it's infinite coal. So we're going to go into resources. We want to go to coal extractor. It uses 2 power. We have plenty of power now. And we also need to connect this with things as well. It looks like that is dead on of that. Yep. That is like a straight tube all the way over. So I'm thinking the power is there, but the tube, for now, we can have this tube go all the way over there. Or I can have it work its way over and connect with this one, which I kind of like that one better. Kind of keeps it out of this area here. So I'm going to do that instead. So that's going to create a junction. So people who are going to work in the coal extractor, they'll be kind of moving through both of these, or moving through this tube and then going and splitting, right? Okay, so this is now producing high quality food. We should see that reflected up here soon, depending on whether we can get the people or not. It is looking like they're not sending people just yet. I can reduce labor in some other buildings. Like, for example, if there was labor here, I could take it out, but it doesn't look like there is. Yeah, I'd really like them to send those extra 4 people down. So what I maybe should do is... Oh, this doesn't have oxygen yet? No, it doesn't have people yet. I don't have people, right? I guess what we could do is maybe take some crew out of research and make sure that they're in here. And indeed they are now. There is 1 person in here. And so I want to see a positive food balance. That's what I really need. Because if I can get that, that means I can stockpile the 75 food, and then they can send 4 more people down for me. The coal stockpiling, let's see. We're gathering it at a rate of 7. We're consuming it at a rate of 6. Okay. So we are gaining in coal. And so we should eventually get to 80 coal stockpiled. And that'll give us engineers too. As soon as we can work this building, however, we're going to be grabbing coal very quickly from there. Just realized the sound was way down, so I turned it up a little bit for you. I also wanted to get right down in here and see some of the models and stuff. I like seeing the submarines and like all the things moving around and working. So oxygen producer, right, is in there. When you hover top a building, you can see also where people are. So there's like little highlights and stuff. You can kind of see where people are there. If I was to remove Caitlin from the research, it means we will no longer be getting research, but I could place Caitlin in here. Let's say I want to go, let's put, we have so much extra power at the moment, so we can take you out of the second coal generator and put you in here instead. Taking a person out of a generator is going to reduce the power output of that building, but since we have a surplus, we can move you around. So I think what I'll do is I'll also get a second person. You already are. Good. We're also going to get a second person here. So we'll say that we want to move you from coal generator 1, I suppose, could be okay. And we'll station you in the coal extractor point. So you don't need a huge surplus. Move people around a little bit, and now we can extract coal at an alarmingly fast rate. And hopefully this means, yes, we are now extracting it at twice the speed we are using it, which means we have capacity to expand, which is great. We want to expand. So as part of this expansion, let's just real quick check my resource piles here. It looks like we're doing okay there. All right, we're still gathering coal from this point, I guess, now? Maybe? Yep. And what we want to do is I want to build, if possible, a cloning lab. It contains vats in which we can grow adult clones. Clones must be created using DNA from wildlife captured in habitats. So I think what we need here is a fauna trap first. We would have to use these habitats for fauna traps instead of the high quality food. So the first one I'm going to use for food, just so I can get more people down here. And as soon as we have, you can see currently we're producing 2 high quality food and 10 low quality food per day and consuming 12. So, I mean, that sounds like we're break even, but I'm seeing the number rise. So I'm actually not sure that that's correct because the number's going up. So if we want to locate another source for that food, or if we want to locate another habitat, I guess, we can go and use a habitat beacon. And we can see already this is giving us high probabilities of finding something just by hitting the beacon there. And it should tell us where habitats might be in the area. So there's one here and one here. That's pretty good. Is there anything else I might have missed? I want more habitats. Looks like they're all found. They're all pretty close to us. So we're going to say that I want another light tower to be placed right over here. And I need to get both of these habitats kind of in the light. So I'll go a little bit, I guess a little bit back with the light. I don't need to go quite as far out. So right about there should work for this light. We'll get the power. Cannot build in darkness, right? So we get the power brought out. And we can do about like that. That's fine. As long as you start the build in light, you can extend it out into darkness. It lets you do it. There's definitely different elevations, which it makes sense. It's the seafloor. And so we're probably going to have to also look at... Oh, what was that? 4 new crew members have arrived. Cool. So now we have a full workforce. Everyone, every building is all fully staffed, I think. Well, apparently... Oh, I disabled that work slot. I don't want to do that. Let's pull you off of the coal extractor now, because I think we're... No, I need to get those extra people. So we'll just have one person on research for now. We have 66 research points. And I'm thinking maybe we do the coal efficiency upgrade. That way we use less coal. That's good. Now we should save it even more. Yeah, so we're only using 5 now instead of 6. Okay, fair. So there's 2 additional habitats here. This is spider crabs. Hey. And this one is rosefish. So rosefish is a species of rockfish. We already read that, I think, right? This is rosefish as well. Yeah. 2 rosefish. Okay. And then this one is, hey, little spider crabs. Can we see them? I want to see a spider crab. Oh. Can't see him. Yeah. I want to. Hey. There he is. Spider crabs, dude. They look like really long legs. Damn. All right. Anyway, so this is the habitat for them. So if we want to, let's read it actually. The European spider crab is a species of migratory crab found in the northeast Atlantic and the Mediterranean Sea. Despite the look of the European spider crab being similar to the much larger Japanese spider crab, they are actually different species. So we can place more food here, or I can put a fauna trap. So I think I'm going to do that. And we'll place a fauna trap here so we can capture the crabs. And we'll try to, I think, we probably do a fauna trap here too. What's this one? Marine stabilizer. Stabilizes the population of up to 3 species in a biome. So I suppose I would need to get this connected, and it would stabilize the population. I'm wondering what that like ultimately means in terms of the game. Am I going to be depleting these resources? I don't know. We'll use another fauna trap on this one here too. So let's take the steel and go out this way, and then also take the steel and go out this way. That should provide power to those 2 buildings. Neither one of these appear to need oxygen. At least I don't believe they do. I didn't see any connection points. Nope. So this will be enough once it's built. Spider crab, here it is. So we're able to get Maja squinado. Okay, so we are currently, I think, getting samples so that we can use, like, try to incorporate some of the DNA and stuff and see if we can stabilize clones. Is that the idea, I think? Overseer, our steel supplies are running low. The deposits of steel scrap won't last forever. If we want to continue this mission, we'll need to start mining iron ore and converting it into steel in an alloy furnace. Build our first alloy furnace and create steel. Well, yes, but there should be a lot of steel laying out. So we still have 24 steel laying out there. And, oh, hang on. Hey, Overseer, it's Connor McKeever's birthday today. We were hoping to throw a surprise party in their living quarters. I know it's a lot to ask, but could we take 20 food from the stockpile for a party? So if we do this, we get crew relations going up. I'll show you that over here in a second. But we lose 20 food. If we take half the amount of food, crew relations will stay the same, but we'll lose 10 food, or we can't afford it, and that will reduce crew relations. Let's go ahead and just take the half amount for now. I'm fine. So we'll do that. Now, for some reason, it wants me to click this twice. Kind of weird, but I'm hoping they work that out. So here's our crew relation effectors over here, right? And people will get upset. I don't remember exactly what happens. The tutorial explained it to me. I want to say that they begin to leave. You just lose people, right? If they're unhappy, they just kind of leave the project. You know, they quit. So we want to have as many people as possible. I think that's what it is. So current objectives is to build the alloy furnace and start actually making. We have lots of iron on the ground, and we can also start extracting it from resources, provided, of course, we can find those resources. And I don't believe I found any type of like persistent iron deposit. Oh, hi. Hang on a second. There's a lot of stuff over here. Okay, that's where the next light's going then. Light. Aziz, you provide light over here. Right. Much better. Thank you, Aziz. And then we're going to go, guess like this with power. My power grids are going to really trigger people because they're not going to have any organization to them. Especially if I squiggle it like this. What if I go straight like this? Does this trigger you? Oh, well, see, it's going to have to. I mean, hey, it's not me, it's the terrain, man. Yeah, it looks like I don't have enough steel to do that anyway. So my current supply of steel is just a measly 2, so I won't be able to actually build power resources out that way unless we can scavenge more steel. So I'm going to tell these guys, instead of mining all, I'm going to have one mine all, and the other one is dedicated to steel for now. Over here, you're currently just getting nothing but coal. That's still good with me. Are there any more coal resources over here? Okay, there's iron there. That's the same coal resource. You might find some stuff over here. There's steel deposit, steel glass deposit, concrete deposit. So we know there's steel there. So here's some more steel right over here. Perfect. So we need to get this light up and running so that we can get the steel. So the remaining steel is going to be used for bringing lights to that. I think it's probably cheapest to go from here. So this is 12 steel as a cost. Going from here would be 12 steel, and then going from back here is definitely the most expensive at 15, 16. Yeah, so we want to use the one for 12. I think I'll go from this side. Since there's other deposits here, I might be able to use it. So why don't we just, I'll have it go out this way. I kind of want to, yeah, do something like that. There we go. That won't trigger people. I think this will make everybody happy, actually. Ooh, but I can't stop it there because then I don't think it'll let me continue it. So we'll just kind of build it to there for now and then connect that up so that it's actually connected. And then, so from here to here, I can do that as soon as I have 8 steel, which I'm very close to having. Actually, I might work with 7. Let's see if it works with 7. It does. All right. So now we have all these areas. Ooh. What are you? Are you the deposits? No, this is just this stuff. Yeah. So mining relay, we're going to send people to here. This allows us to get access to 129 steel out that way. That's pretty good. All right. What's going on over here? Technology is the foundation of our mission. To survive in these conditions and to achieve our scientific aims, we must progress our research capabilities. We're considering sending down another specialist, a scientist this time. First, prove your capability to lead this mission. Unlock tier 2 of technology. So obviously we don't have enough for tier 2 unless we save up 150 research. And of course, having the scientist specialist would definitely allow us to save up research faster, but it sounds like what it's asking me to do is to not spend research on anything until I get that. This is the research in genetics. We're gonna want to start looking at getting clones and stuff and start getting more people. But until that time, I think maybe I feel like the alloy furnace is going to be worth it. Extractor. Place on large resource deposits to extract resources from them. I guess I would place these instead of the mining drones. Oh, we can look at those. We can look at those a little bit later, though. Right now, I need to stockpile research, and I need to get somebody else working here. So why don't we pull you out of coal generator 2? That will reduce power, and we still have a 1 surplus. Good. So now we're generating 11 research every day. It's going to take us quite a bit to get to 150 at that. And right now it says 7 per day, but I think that goes to 11 now that I've swapped it out. Now we have a mining sub idle. I wish I could click this and it would zoom in on which one it is, but I suspect it's the coal one. I would be wrong. It's over here. The iron is gone, or the steel is gone. Okay, so we'll pull that back, and then we'll bring that sub over here and have you focus on steel right there. That mining sub will go over there now. All right, so I think maybe since this sonar tower is kind of... It's sort of searched everything it could at this point, so I can just go ahead and delete it. I will get 6 steel back for doing so. I can then go over to, like, over here, and I can place the sun sonar tower somewhere else and, you know, search a little bit further away. So let's maybe place it here instead. Take some of those steel and bring it back over there. And then we should have power there, but if, you know, it doesn't look like we do, so we'll just kind of go like that really quick. Probably should have placed it on an existing power source, but whatever, it's fine. Power line. Now that it's got this, we can now search even further out to try to find new resources. So it looks like no fuel, no resources. What about points of interest? We haven't gotten to the stage yet where we can do points of interest, but there's like exploration stuff, right? There's still ways to explore and find out what's down there. There's 2 points of interest that we've uncovered with that scan, and we don't have anything else or knowledge of anything else at this point. Where are those points of interest? It should be purple indicators, but I don't see them unless they're... Oh, maybe... Oh, they're not. Their point of interest is a blue, right? So this little thing here, there's a brine pool here. And then the other point of interest that we found is over here. And this one is a shipwreck. Ooh, what can we find at a shipwreck, I wonder? So, again, the only way to get out there is just to get your light towers going. And I don't have enough resources to do those right now. So it's a little bit of a waiting game, probably because of how I built it. You know, it's usually how it goes. I do, however, have 100 coal in storage now. So that's fantastic. We can pull people out of this coal extractor. And I think we can probably pull... We'll just leave 2 in there for now. And that would allow me to potentially put in another research lab and get more research going. So if I put in, let's say... I actually forgot where it is. I can't build it. I don't have the steel to build it. I eventually will have the steel to build it. We can put another research lab in. The lab looks like it's staffed by 2 normal crew, and then it needs a specialist to add. So until I get that scientist specialist, I won't be able to add any more there. But I don't think there's a reason why I can't have 2 labs. So we'll have to look at that too. I'm in need of conductive materials for the next stage of my research. This will really open the door for how we send power on the base. I can make do with lower quality metals, but I believe this will really make a difference. So I actually don't have copper. It's unfortunate. Unless I do, it's going to let me click this, right? It's red, so I don't think so. I mean, it's red, so I don't believe I have copper. Yeah, aluminum, copper, and lead. These are like maybe slightly more advanced resources. So I suppose I will give you the 30 iron, and we'll see. Can't really do much more than that. So removed iron, research data points plus 50. Okay. Fantastic. I could have got more research points, I guess, if I had given him copper. We want to find... We gotta find this stuff. There's a habitat right here. We could start looking at that too. Maybe for some more good food. We are now consuming 17 food per day, but we're not producing enough, right? So I do need to get another habitat going. So I'm thinking if we can maybe get the light tower and build a light tower. I kind of want to build it out, yeah, like way out this way. Just enough to get the habitat in range, but also that fuel source right about here. I want to get that light built. And then for power, I can't build it because I don't have the steel. So we are still waiting on steel for now. Overseer, before the construction of the central hub, our scouting units spotted a number of nearby biomes, which are likely to contain new species and resources we need to further our research. Kelp forests. Our scans indicated the presence of aluminum here, which is vital for our more advanced construction efforts, along with species which may help us push the boundaries of our cloning technology, and as well as coral reefs. Appears to contain a good amount of useful resources and species to support our efforts. So, are you telling me where those are, or you said you discovered them, but I don't see them. Looks like so this is progressing. Yeah, 14% now. It used to be a lower percentage than that. And then this one over here is 12%. And then this one this is where our food's coming from. Okay, we've got a little alert here. It says, no crew in darkness for 25 days. I suppose that's probably a good thing, but I don't actually know. Crew relations at 67% there. We need to get access to this habitat, or at least another one, so that we can start making more food. But I also think more low-quality food would be an okay thing to build, provided, of course, we have the resources to do it. Just because we need food. I feel like, though, that the higher quality food should be my priority, but we'll build the lower quality one for now. And we actually have one mining sub idle, so let's make sure you're just collecting everything. It's fine. We're not going to tell you to do anything specific anymore. And once you're done, then I'll have you go on quartz glass. Over here, he's just doing pretty much only steel. And eventually we are going to get the alloy production, and we're going to start being able to make our own steel. But I think we can go on the supplies that are on the ground for a little bit longer here, especially since we have a lot of iron to collect anyway. I think it'll be fine. So on the tech tree, we need to unlock tier 2 somewhere. And I feel like maybe the tier 2 we should unlock is... Part of me wants to just do things that relate to the population, things that relate to science should be probably better though, like research. Rate per day attachment module would be really nice to have. Multiplier research attachment, boost in research data generation. Like, these are things that I should probably get. But I think I have almost enough to support them, and especially if I can get that scientist brought down here. So with 168 data, I'm going to unlock this. Now we have the standard research lab with 2 slots for research modules. Okay, crew required is 1, plus there's 4 research modules here. Or maybe it's 4 specialists. But either way, this is going to help us get research faster over time. So, there. So I've unlocked tier 2. Does that mean I get my dude to be brought down here? I do, yes. Right there. So Matthew Brown is here now. In the basic research lab 1. His sustenance is at 78. So I need more food. So how am I getting? I have 6 steel. I don't know if that's enough. Let's have you run this direction. It's gonna be 9 steel unless I... Yeah, I think I want to wait. I want to bring you more in a straight line here. So we'll go like this. That's 8. Can't do that. Let's go with 7. Come on. Maybe I should just do the alloys instead. I'm also out of oxygen at the moment, so I'm going to need to make another one of those too. I actually should see what does that cost me. I assume that cost me steel as well. No, it's concrete. Well, we'll get another oxygen generator. Pretty sure you're going to let me do this. Yeah, you should let me do that. Connected here. That's okay with me. It does kind of block this, but I can do this. It doesn't completely block it. I can make a tube that comes straight out from here. So I can have another structure here if I want to. But I want the protein harvester to be right there. We're gonna have more food being brought in on this side. All right, we have 8. Look at 9 power. All right, I'm doing this just so I can get that up and running. All right, this gives me light here. This is more spider crabs. Fantastic. Now we're going to be eating spider crabs as soon as we get 5 more steel to build the protein harvester. But I do also want to see whether we have anything laying around. There's more coal on the ground there. That seems to be about it. I want to know what's going on over here. These are the corals, right? So it doesn't look like we can build right next to them. It doesn't allow me to build right on top of them. I wonder what I can use those for. Like, I wonder if there's like actual purpose, you know, resource wise in the game. Can we use the coral? All right, so we got a couple of problems here. We have a power deficit, so I'm gonna start shutting down a couple of things. We can shut down the light if it's on. Yep, take that down. Now we have power surplus. Just temporarily, we're gonna shut some of this stuff down. The second problem is that we're full on our coal storage. So shutting this extractor down would kind of solve that problem anyway. The next problem is that this is apparently not connected. I thought these two things were going to be connected and they're not. So I need a new location for my oxygen production. And I think I'm going to go ahead and place it over here instead. So we're going to place oxygen right like this. That should hook it up really well. And then we could, I guess, just connect it direct. Kind of what I wanted to do. And that should connect direct up. It shouldn't be a problem. So we'll have both of those building instead. And then what I'd like to do is build expansion modules on to the lab. So in the tech tree, we can go to research and genetics. We have a little bit of science. I'm going to do the rate per day attachment module, and also the multiplier research attachment. So these are all things that are going to boost our research speed, but they are attachments. And so if I look at research, there's a multiplier research attachment, and it has to be connected somewhere. I thought it would have to be connected here, but it looks to me like it is. Okay, this is a very strange attachment. I'm not entirely sure where it's going to have to go, but I guess we'll play it there. Maybe it goes on the top, I guess. Okay. And then we have the rate per day attachment module. This one looks like it's maybe not, like maybe it's going to be next to it, but I need more steel for that, so I'm going to wait on that. Okay, so we have a bit of a personnel issue here. There's not enough people in this, so I'm going to delete this. That'll get some people over here. And I want to say that this is enough oxygen for pretty much everything, but wait, I do want to have more power. And I just need more people. So I think cloning is going to have to be done. Like, we have to look at cloning to get more people, because it's just not allowing me to have it. Make sure that that food is connected. And we're going to pull you out of... Actually, we're perfect right now. Yeah. We're perfect on power and oxygen. However, I need more power, which means I'll be drawing in 1 more oxygen. So now we'll be kind of like, well, we'll have just enough basically on the oxygen side of things. We'll be at 0 until someone else comes and works here. So it looks like that is the multiplier. It just sits on the top and does this bobbing up and down thing. I wonder if it's supposed to have like a different graphic, because it looks different in this list. That looks a lot different than this. So I'm thinking maybe it's just not done yet. But at least maybe it's working. Is it working? Yeah, 27 research a day. Multiplier is giving us 50% more research every day. So that's pretty fast. And then as soon as we have the steel, I can go in and I can build this rate per day attachment, which I suppose means it will increase that, and then that gets exponential. Like, so like if I'm doing 50% more, if I add 50% more generation, it's, you know, it's going to give me more than you get it. All right. A critical malfunction has occurred in our power generator. Malfunctions can occur when buildings are not fully staffed. The building will need to be repaired before it can be used again. Great. All right, so we do have a repair bot, I thought. So I can go in and I click at this button. It's gonna cost me 5 concrete. Construction dude will come over here and repair it, I think. I would like to have more people. I think cloning is gonna have to be kind of a requirement, right? We have to clone people. So let me see what this is gonna entail. Well, first it's gonna entail having concrete and steel, which is a little hard to get when you're out of power. So I kind of can't scavenge the stuff that I need without it. I got pretty much everything shut down right now because of this power generator going down, this random event that just happened. So it's a weird thing because if these things would just start running, then we would have enough O2 for all of this. But because they don't have O2, they won't start working here. So I need O2 to get O2, you know what I'm saying? So I need to, like, I guess shut down everything until I don't have a power deficit. So that was already off. So I guess we'll shut this off. We'll shut down the research lab. We'll shut down some of their food producers. Are only 1 power anyway. Oxygen producer. We'll shut down one of those. And just like that, now everything's running. I can turn this back on. There we go. Turn this back on. Yep. There we go. And turn this back on, if you please. Yep. Okay. So now we're up and running again. And I want this to turn back on too, so I can start extracting that stuff. 3 crew are malnourished. I need more high quality food. High quality food requires another one of those protein harvesters, which I was going to put over in this area. We have the light for it. I want to put a protein harvester here. Yeah, it's 5 metal, but I also want to get the research attachment at the same time. I feel like the food is not that urgent. Yes, there's malnutrition, but they're still eating. The research is basically like the same as getting more loot in this game, I think. So we're gonna try that. But I also could save the metal for the cloning lab, which I need to get to. Clones must be created using DNA from wildlife captured in habitats, which, like, I've kind of got that already. So we're low on concrete and we're low on steel. The steel shouldn't be a problem as long as the lights stay on. It looks to me like all of our lights have been shut off. Yeah, why? Turn on. Turn the light on. On. There you go. This light's still on. There's plenty of steel over here still to get. We have 1 mining sub-idle. I'm unsure why that happened. But if there's any more concrete anywhere, I'm going to send you to get that. That's iron. So let me just take a real quick look. We have iron. Thought I saw something else. Quartz glass. Concrete. 71 concrete here. All right. Let's put this down. And we have concrete as the priority over here. And then once we do that, I can then afford to have another habitat and the attachment. But I'm feeling like the attachment's better also because I really don't have enough people to work more jobs. You know? Like, I don't actually have anybody extracting coal at the moment. So I got to have that happening. So if the coal generator, we can put you in there instead. Produces less power. At least we have an income of coal now. Yeah, I'm going to have to start putting everybody in this now with 3 of these generators running. But if there's technology that makes it better, more efficient, you know, then cool. 20% longer burn time. Or we can get an oil drill and we can start getting oil and using that for power instead of coal. Sounds great. Or the power upgrade here, which also sounds good. And I almost have enough research for it. So maybe I do that instead. But getting the cloning lab, right? I'm wondering if that actually gets me more people. So, okay, I waited a little bit. Rate per day attachment module is ready. So we'll go ahead and get this. And I'm unsure where it goes. Building placement is invalid. So maybe it can only be on another research lab. Maybe you're only allowed to have 1 attachment at a time. Did it say that? Or perhaps the research lab in general only has 1 attachment module. Standard research lab. Ah, I see. The standard research lab, this one has attachment points for 2 modules. Okay, so let's unlock this one. And then can I upgrade this directly, or do I need to replace it? It looks like it might just be a direct replacement. Standard lab. This is just a basic. I don't think I can upgrade. There's no button for upgrade. So I'm gonna do something a little bit risky here, I guess. Do I get anything back for this module? It doesn't look like it. 7 concrete and 7 steel. I don't. So I only get half the resources back. It might be worth it to just leave this and add another lab next to it. Because otherwise I'm just giving away... Yeah, I'm just going to give away resources if I do that. So we could wait until we have the steel. It shouldn't take too long. And then place that down. Or I could stop putzing around and actually go get this thing like the game told me to get, because I haven't got it yet. And then that would let me have steel. That alloy furnace. Nah. I'll just keep collecting it off the ground slowly. That seems fine. People like it when I do things like that, don't you? Don't you love it when I do things like that? We have a surplus in food, so I'm gonna pull 1 crew member off of the carbohydrate farm and get them into coal extraction. That should help a little bit. And we now have enough steel. Very close. We're only gathering 1 per day. Yeah, I really do need. The thing is, the alloy furnace, that does sound good, but you have to have people to work it anyway, and we're short on people. So like, oh, I just hit the tilde key. Apparently that's the. Okay, apparently there's a console for this. I think really the cloning lab should be prioritized before that expansion. I just think it should. Like, I feel like this is where we get people. So, okay. I will place you. Oh, there is one more thing I would like to get, and I don't know if it helps with malnutrition, but in the health area, there's a hospital. And I think if we have some massive catastrophe, we probably should have a way to cure people. So I'm going to get a hospital. I guess it has to be diagonal. So I'll get the hospital to be here, I suppose. I need to move this. Shouldn't be a problem. Just move this, put the hospital there. And then we'll also go in and get, where was it? Le cloning lab. Yes. Get the cloning lab there. Okay. So now there's a mining stub idle. Knew that was going to happen. Let's make sure it's on the concrete. Right. Concrete and iron both. I'm kind of okay with it. It's fine. So this, I think, like I said, I don't know this, but I believe this will allow us to actually, make more people. And they won't live very long. But maybe as our technology gets better, they'll live longer. But at least if we are using cloning, we can get people actually working these buildings, because we don't have enough people to work them. We're going to have a little bit of an issue with power here pretty soon too. I'm going to go this way with steel, get the hospital online, and then is that far enough or no? Darn. One more. Okay. A few of the staff have come down with a stomach virus. They will be unfit to work unless we act. I would advise that you get them into a hospital. Well, there you go. See? I knew it. The problem, though, is that we're short on power, and I don't have any people to work the hospital. So I'm going to pull... And there's nobody working in research lab except for Matthew Brown. Just the specialist is in here, and that's it. So I need to pull people out of certain buildings, I guess. That sucks. Because we're running out of time here. Coal extraction is necessary for power. We're already short on that. I can't afford the protein. I don't think there's enough people in this game. I feel like the game needs to give you more people, or I should have started cloning a long time ago. I mean, I think probably both of those things are true, but I'm going to go with just one thing. Let's shut... Can a specialist work any other job? Can I tell them to not research and instead work other things? Let's maybe shut down... There's only one person working there anyway. Go like that. Actually, it's probably better to have one fully staffed. Oh, I can't just like bring them back. I don't like the labor system in this game. I don't like having to designate them specifically to a slot. I would rather just say, hey, can I have a worker here? Because there's really no difference between them anyway. Yeah, here's what we'll do. We'll shut down this farm. And then we'll add somebody to this one. And I suppose that person can be the one that's on oxygen generation. I could bring you in here. And now it's a 0, so we should have enough power for everything. But again, no people. Let's take a look at this. Genome sequencer. Cloning is 3 out of 4, 67%. Cloning lab requires workers. Right, well, I guess I'll have to get somebody in here. Let's do coal extraction really quick. We'll just pull you out of the research lab. Shut down the research lab and put you in here instead. And then I want somebody else in here too. Let's go. Yeah, cold power generator. I guess we'll do that. Okay. So we now have enough oxygen and enough power. Plus everybody is in the cloning lab. So how does this work? Spider crab. There's just so many genomes here, but I don't know exactly how to make a person from this. Just a generalist. Okay. So is this like a... Chance of success, 40%. 40% chance of successful clone. Mutations decrease a clone's lifespan. Okay. Well, I want to begin cloning, so... it doesn't appear as though... Do I just choose one of these? Oh, I think I get it. I think I get it. So I put a roast fish in. Yeah, vacant slots. Okay. So I can just add these different things in here. And then if I hit go, am I gonna... 36 days? Oh, wait. No, I think what this is that their lifespan is 36 days. Yeah, so it's not gonna take 36 days to clone them. It'll take 36 days for them to die after they're cloned. All right. So yeah, I think we're gonna leave this video here. I unfortunately don't have any more time to record anymore. I'm literally recording this an hour before I leave to go to my plane. So that's just gonna have to be the way it is. But I do want to thank Paradox for sending this out, so I can at least share this with you on the day the embargo ends. And if you do like this game, there's a lot more to it. This isn't as simple as it gets. There's gonna be a lot more to it, especially getting into tier 3 and stuff. But if you want to see more, let me know down in the comments. And depending on how this video does and how much interest it has, we'll take a look at maybe starting a full playthrough of it in February, okay? So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.